I've been muted for about 5 minutes and I've been trying to figure out how to unmute.
Okay, we're almost live.
And I had to push *6, which is new to me, but
We're good. We're live. We're good to go.
All righty. We'll call this January 28th, 2022. I got to get used to saying 22 instead of 21. Nicholas County PDB Zoom meeting to order. And the first item on the agenda is a roll call. Judge Delaney.
Here.
Judge Custer. Mrs. Zachary.
Here.
Mrs. Sandy Wykins.
Here.
Mr. Eric Tedder. All righty.
And let me ask a question. Is Ian, I just heard your voice a second ago while I was getting this connected. Is Ian with us?
I am Corky.
Okay. All right. You're one of the phones.
Yes, sir. The 361
Yes,
number.
All right. Thank you.
I
Thank you,
it's-
Judge.
Yes, sir. I think that's the one I saw light up when you said you were on. So the first item on the agenda is approval of the previous minutes, which would have been the December 17th meeting.
I'd make a motion to approve the December 17th meeting minutes.
Motion by Judge Delaney, second by
I'll second.
Miss Sandy Wykins. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda will be the approval of the bills.
Okay, I got this all out to you like 5 minutes ago.
Yes, sir.
So I'm sure everybody's had a great chance to look this over. Would you like me to share my screen?
Whatever the board desires, I have no problem with that, sir.
I've got it in front of me, but if anybody else needs to see it, that's
I
fine.
have a copy of it here, but we'll do it any
Okay.
way y'all desire.
If you don't need it, well, let me just go ahead and do it.
Okay. And basically the bills or the request is $652,581.99. Is that correct, sir?
That's correct. Now I'm having problems getting this shared.
It's showing up on mine.
Is it?
Yeah, it's on this screen. I don't know
I've
about
got
it.
What? Excellent. Okay. Well, so it's 652, 581.99. Here's the disbursement request or the Schedule A, and you can see what we've done here. We've got Trace Creek for their CM services. And what we've done, in previous conversations with Ian and Jeff, we were talking about holding the retainage, but Mark looked closer at the contract, and the contract says that the retainage should be released with substantial completion, which we've hit. There was a separate request in Ecom for retainage, which is also included on here, which is $455,213.01. And that was the money that was held back from the contractor to, as insurance that everything got completed. So I've combined that into this one Schedule A disbursement request. But what we have also done is decided to hold the CM fees of $15,000 because we haven't completed the punch list yet, which is scheduled for February 9th. And then the rest of the stuff is just typical things that you're used to seeing on the disbursement requests. We've got the regular pay application from Trace Creek. There are several, there's one bill from Multivista, the MVK Limited, and then ZX Commissioning had not kept up with their billings over the end of last year. So there's 3 invoices from them in the package. And then of course, Tammy's Valuable Services there. So that's how we get to that number, which is bigger than, I would have thought, but that's because of the retainage. Does anybody have any questions?
Is the retainage just a percentage of the total contract? I've forgotten what that even is.
Yes, it was figured that I think it was 10% of the original contract with the construction manager. And then I'm not sure if we did it, but at one point it could have been reduced, but
It reduced to 5% at 50% completion, Corky.
that's right. Okay.
So that number represents 10% up to 50% completion and then 5% after that.
Yes, at 50% completion, the retainage dropped to 5%. This is what we still owe them on the contract. And we feel that they've satisfactory, reached a substantial completion and are owed the money according to the contract with them. Now, that doesn't mean that there are a few little things that we're still working with. Ian did the punch list some time ago, and we still got those things. So we're still holding the $15,000.
So I guess at the 50% mark, 5% of the money was paid, and then this is the other 5% for the last 50%. Is that the way you're saying it?
Yeah, it's just a line item in all of their bills.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
It was a 10% total, and we've paid half at 6 months, and we're paying half at the completion, or
yeah.
50% stage. I said 6 months, but I mean, halfway through the.
Yes, sir. I understood.
Yeah. Okay. Does anybody else got any questions, thoughts?
Well, I assume somebody checked the number. I don't have any way of knowing. If the number's been checked and fine, I think it's fine to go ahead.
Well, I'm not an awesome number.
Yes, sir.
But go ahead.
Well, BCI checked all the numbers. That's part of our certification on the numbers.
Okay.
Well, if the numbers have been checked, I would move that we approve disbursement request number 25 in the amount of $652,581.99.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Mrs. Zachary. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. So that should take care of item 4 and 5, the disbursement request and approval of bills all in one package, correct, Mr. Corky?
That's correct.
Okay, so
We still have a final disbursement request at some point in the near future.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But that takes care of business on that for today, so to speak. And we'll move on to number 6. Is there any change orders or proposals or anything we need to be aware of or discuss?
Did you ever hear about the Corky, about those card readers for our offices?
I followed up on that report the other day. Steve Wolfsorn came and talked with some folks. I think he was hoping to still catch up with Judge Custer. But he was going to go ahead. I talked to him the other day and he was going to go ahead and write up what his recommendations are. But I don't have the report yet in hand to know exactly what those are.
Oh, okay. I thought he already
So-
did that some time ago, but I
Yeah.
was just, I got a little ahead of myself.
No, I should have that hopefully any day. And then we'll be able to get you a response when you see what he says.
Okay.
And I'm guessing that my screen is still shared and I'm not finding the command to unshare it.
Yes, sir, it is shared.
Well, it's so important.
So the next item on the agenda would be the RSA update.
Sure. Yeah. No real update here from the RSA Williamstown office. We got a couple inches of snow and no school, but other than that, everything's going pretty well.
Good deal. Next item on the agenda is a A&E update. Is there anything out there, gentlemen, we need to be made aware of? Okay. Next item on the agenda is the CM update.
Morning, everybody. Just go through real quick. I know there at the last meeting we discussed that last change order I went through that added the bathroom accessories and the 2 additional exit signs. The bathroom accessories were installed last Friday. We got the electricians here today. They're going to be putting the 2 exit signs in. We're on site here still, just tidying up a couple of loose ends with the electricians and anything Sandy finds that needs to be fixed. Other than that, everything looks good. Handrail, everything's been installed. Building inspector come to site. I can't believe it was the day before our handrails were installed. So she has to make a final visit to give us her final CO, but she had signed off on everything except for the handrail out front, which, like I said, was installed the day after she come, but we've reached back out to her. So her next time through here, she should be able to sign off on that and issue the final CO for the building. Other than that, like Corky had mentioned earlier, we have the final, I guess, the back punch with the architect here on the 9th. Just gonna go through and check off everything. Other than that, that's about where we're at. Happy everybody's happy with the building. It looks great. So Sandy, if you find any more problems, just let me know.
I got your number.
All righty, is there any other business, Mr. Corky, that we need to touch on before we set a next meeting date? I know you'd send out an email a little bit about the, I guess, the ribbon cutting. And I assume that from our last conversation, you were still trying to work your way down with dates that's available for everybody and so on.
Giving a Corky.
Yeah.
Can you go
No.
over ribbon cutting real quick?
Huh?
Can you go over the river?
I just said that the last count we had, you were working on any other thing that I could think of. And I just said, did you want to touch base on the ribbon cut? And the last conversation we had, you were working your way down to who could dates available for people and so on, correct?
Yes. I'd reached out to the chief's office. I haven't heard back yet. That's where I think folks generally start on this, but yeah, we need to start working on the ribbon cutting.
Right.
So-
You just told me you'd reached out. Yes, sir.
There you have $1,000. Remember how the other one worked?
Yes, sir.
Same kind of thing. We need to come up with a list. I'm hoping I'd reached out to Jamie Neal in our communications office, and she was going to share a worksheet, I think, with Sandy. I think that prompts all the different things we need. There was a list of invitees that we need to make sure we get straight, and then it'll just be I'm sure we'll have it inside the new judicial center instead of having to rent a place to do it like we did the last time, but cake and finger food or however you want to handle it.
Okay. So the next
I'm
item
still
on the
waiting
agenda,
on 2 cubicles. We don't have them yet.
Yeah, that's right. So we're not ready to set a date, that's for sure, but it still would be appropriate to think about how we want to handle it.
Yeah. I just had one question. What, maybe the other courthouses don't do this, or judicial centers. Do you do any like pictures or anything anywhere in any of the rooms, or like the jury room or conference room, or,
You mean take photos?
yeah, just put on the wall?
No,
Decorate.
that's up to you all. I believe Louise had painted that painting for you, but I haven't
Yeah,
heard
we got
more
that
about it.
hung last week, I think. It's out in the lobby.
Sandy, sometimes, the judges and clerk will decide to, they may want to do portraits of the previous judges that have served. A lot of times those will go in the courtrooms for each division of the court. One of the things that we can look at with that is that, although we can't purchase the artwork, AOC will allow up to $5,000 if we have funds available still for framing of some of those. So, we may want to, look at that option. Also, there is many times that, the county may, or the bar association may donate artwork or other items that could go in the lobbies or the law library, things like that. So anything of those nature. The only thing, obviously, the chief circuit judge would need to be give approval of what goes in. So.
Okay. I was just thinking.
And I don't know if this is any help, but once you guys are in and operational and, fully furnished, we will probably send a professional photographer down to take just photos of the building, the courtrooms, things like that. When we do that, we'll be more than happy to share any of those photos if that's kind of what you're looking for.
I talked with Tammy yesterday to see if she had anything, but I was thinking, maybe just scenes of Nicholas County. I mean, like we've got Forestry Tree, home of a former governor, and just, something like that.
Yeah.
Just to add a little color to the walls.
I will tell you, a lot of times, Sandy, the previous courthouse that we have moved out of, a lot of times some of the counties will hang, a picture of that previous courthouse in the new judicial
I was thinking about
center.
that too.
So
I know they've got one hanging up there that's really pretty, one like that or something.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking of. I gave him one yesterday. Sorry. I was just thinking Nicholas County scenes, just something like that, just brighten the walls up. Not that they're not pretty, but just add a little something extra.
No objections to those. Like I said, as long as Judge Delaney is in agreement to include those, I don't think that's a problem at all.
Okay.
And if you want a big picture of me for your office, Sandy, I'll pay for that.
Okay. Well, I've got one wall still blank over here, so.
A statue.
Or we might put it out in the middle so the girls can look at it.
all right, excuse me. All righty then. So if there's nothing else to bring before the board or discuss, I guess the next item on the agenda would be to set the next meeting date. So are you thinking, Mr. Corky, we need one this coming month in February, or kind of play out when this ribbon cutting is, or is it going, how you want to handle that?
We need to do that February 9th punch list. I think it would be fine to go ahead and schedule a meeting.
Okay.
But, next moves will be contingent on what we find February 9th, which I'm assuming is great stuff. Trace Creek has been awesome.
Right.
So
do you want to schedule it for the 4th Friday on the 25th tentatively, or just and kind of keep that in our minds then, or go on and schedule it if we need to adjust it, you tell me how you prefer.
Danny, Mark, when, if with your experience, when do you think that we need to schedule another meeting?
Well, I mean, if we're ready with all the closeout by the next meeting, which that would be the end of February, I mean, I think go ahead and schedule the next meeting and you
Okay,
can always cancel it. So
okay, so is the 25th of February, the fourth Friday, agreeable with everyone then? And that's, we'll do that or plan on it?
Yep.
yes.
All
Is there a
right.
That
reason
works
to-
for us.
Okay, February 25th at 10 a.m. it is.
Is there a reason to meet in person? Or do we need to, or is the Zoom good?
Zoom's good with me.
I'm fine either way, whatever suits the crowd. I'm good.
Zoom.
Zoom.
All right. Sounds good to me. So if nothing else, I guess the next item on the agenda is a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Mrs. Sandy Watkins, second by
Second.
Mrs. Zachary, and we will make a note that Judge Custer joined our meeting. We done the roll call, Judge, and so we'll make a note that
Okay.
you were in there and so on. So just all righty. Well, this meeting's adjourned then. Y'all have a safe and good weekend, and we'll meet the end of next month.
Sounds good. You guys too.
All right, everybody be careful.
All right, thank you.